All right, here we go. Day 2 of practice here at stop number 2 of the FLW Tour presented by Lowrance here on the Harris chain. We have Florida Mega Hammer, Glenn Browne joining us today. And you're back on tour, man. You're back. You just got done recovering from another surgery earlier this year. You had colon cancer. Yep. How you feeling?
I'm doing good. You know, I had some colon cancer and they did some work there, and then they found a little bit in my liver and they've cut that out. But as of right now, things are good, so I'm getting back to fishing. You know, I missed the first one, so that kind of hurt a little bit being on Okeechobee. This one, I mean, this is the first time I've ever got to fish a tournament and actually sleep in my own bed, so that's kind of exciting. So, you know, and it's relatively, you know, I'm pretty familiar with it. I don't fish it a lot. I do fish it this time of year, but I don't fish it a whole lot the rest of the year. But it's a great lake, though.
Well, I think right out the gate, since you are you know, more familiar with it than some of the other competitors, just kind of give us a little rundown on what Harris is looking like right now.
You know, it looks really good. I mean, a lot of the lakes like Griffin and Harris are really clear right now. And I mean, there was a tournament here, a big bass tournament like 2 weeks ago, and I mean, there were giants caught every day. So I mean, there's going to be some giants caught. I mean, you put this many boats on the water and the caliber guys we got, it's going to get small. There's going to be a lot of stuff found, so there's going to be a lot of guys sharing water. So that's going to take a little strategy. And of course, this lake is spread out as is. You're going to need your Lowrance to just navigate it because you know, you can go this way 100 miles or that way 50 miles. So you're going to kind of need to have some strategy. It's like if you go that way, you just can't turn around and run the other way.
Yeah, you're locked in. That's what you're doing.
Because there's so many idle zones in between the lakes, it takes a long time to get from one place to the other. So when you pick a direction you're going, you're kind of stuck with that direction.
Well, we are on Griffin right now. And last year at the tour stop here, we really saw Harris and Little Harris and Griffin were kind of the superstars of the event, if we want to say that. How do you think, I mean, will we see any of the other lakes play out? Have you sampled any since yesterday?
Yeah, I've fished some of the other lakes. I only spent a couple hours on Griffin this afternoon. I think it's going to be real similar to what you saw last year. Some of the other lakes may play a little bit, you know, because we're a little earlier this year than what it was last year. So I think it's a little bit closer to a little heavier spawn than maybe what you saw last year. But I think the main lakes are going to be Harris, Little Harris, Griffin. You know, you might see a few fish out of Dora and whatnot, but I think those three are going to be your major lakes.
Okay. It also kind of sounds like there's a lot more Hydrailla, or it's better than it was last year. I don't know which way I want to say that, but I'll leave it to you to kind of steer me in the right direction.
Yeah, there's a lot more grass out there. It really was topped out for a while, and I know they've done some spraying and dropped some pellets on it, which has hurt a little bit. That's had the offshore bite really good. I know there's been a lot of guys out there throwing traps and different things like that, been able to catch them. So that kind of helps. That allows some guys to kind of get off the bank, and the guys that beat the bank or sight fish maybe takes a few boats out of the mix in that deal.
Okay. The final thing I'll leave you with is you did kind of hint at, you know, talking about spawning fish. Last year we saw John Cox really lean on that hard. In the 2 days of practice now, have you seen any spawning? Have you been looking at all?
I've looked a little. I've seen a few. I mean, it's not something I'm going to necessarily do. I might be fishing for some spawning fish, but I'm not going to be actually looking at them. Okay.
All right. Well, with that, Glenn, I'm going to let you go, get rigged up. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back.
Thank you.